Welcome back. We've got Amar Singh of Angel with us as well this afternoon. Amar, good to have you with us. Let's first get a take on the index from you. It's pretty strong today, up about 0.5%, 88.12. We're all watching out for all the kinds of new highs it might make. What's your take on markets?
Yeah, overall, we have been bullish on the markets because the markets overall, globally, if we see, the markets have seen a significant rally, and our markets are no less. So it was a 52-week rally. But only the concern is today we have the US non-farm payrolls data in the evening. And the global markets, be it domestic markets, Asian, European or American markets, they are all going to watch this data very carefully, because this would actually trigger or I would say set in motion the next phase of actions by the Federal Reserve, whether it would be a rate hike in September or December. The odds in September is still very low at 27% vis-a-vis December, where it's almost 55%. So that's going to be a triggering factor major that would drive the markets. But yes, it has been a buy on dips, and we would see some profit booking, but Nifty sustaining above 8800 levels next week, then we could see another phase of rally in the markets.
Okay. What's your take on PSU banks currently? Amar, we're seeing a spike this afternoon, of course, on the RBI setting that bond yield. But even otherwise, we have seen pretty strong traction across some of those banking majors.
Yeah, overall PSU banks, they have delivered a spectacular performance in terms of the investors who've bought them at say 3-4 months prior, and we are seeing some strength remaining in the PSU banks, and so Bank of Baroda is one stock that can be looked as a buying opportunity in the range of 163 levels or so, with a stop loss of 157 and a target of 173. So overall, yes, PSU banks, they continue to see an upside. But going forward, we'll have to see, because a lot would depend upon the RBI policy also going forward, how the RBI actually takes into account the interest rates and other factors.
Okay, a couple of stocks on the move. We've got Adani Ports up 4%, even a Reliance Infra, Reliance Capital, a couple of those counters as well, hitting fresh 52-week highs in afternoon trade, and they've been looking very strong, a couple of those on the charts as well. Do you have a technical call on any of them?
Yeah, overall, we've been watching Reliance Capital very closely, and it's seen a spectacular rally over the last few weeks. So any pullback, it's currently trading around 545 levels, 544, 45 levels. So any pullback towards 535 could be a buying opportunity, with a stop loss at 526 and a target of 553 to 555 levels from a short-term perspective.
Okay, we also have Manish Singh joining us. I just want to go across to him for a moment on what we're expecting with regards to the data coming out of the US today. Manish, good afternoon. What are you anticipating, and how critical is this data in terms of everyone really being on tenterhooks, trying to get a sense of what the Fed is going to do next?
Yeah, so I think that if you get a good US non-farm data, and I think we could get a decent data. We got a good ADP number a day ago, and that is a good precursor or an indicator to the non-farm payroll number. And if we get a good data, then the expectations are going to build up that Fed could increase rates in September. And if they do build up that expectation, then the dollar is going to strengthen. So I think that is one likely outcome which you could have this afternoon. And the implications of that is clearly that you would have some worries in the emerging market, because clearly strong dollar is emerging market negative. But largely for overall economy, it shouldn't be as much of a worrying sign, because it would be like things are getting back to normal, where Fed is looking to increase rates because in response to a good data. So I would say 30 to 40% probability of that happening, but that should not be ruled out, and that could be something we could get this afternoon.
Okay, Manish, any impact you see on emerging markets, or do you feel it's more or less priced in? I mean, here in India, as you know, markets have kind of been on their own trajectory. Do you feel largely insulated to any risk there?
I would say that a strong dollar view has not been priced in fully, because clearly a lot of people still expect that the rate rise is only going to come in November, December. So I think what is not priced in the market is a September increase, because this has been ruled out by many of the market participants. Though what Fed said, or what Janet Yellen said at the Jackson Hole Summit last week, which raised some expectation that they may think of raising rates, but that is not going to happen unless the non-farm payroll number, today's number, is good. So like I mentioned, that if this number is good, then people will start pricing in some probability of Fed increasing in September. And I think if Fed increases in September, it does give them a headroom that if they wanted to increase again in December, they could see the implications of what happens in September. So, I mean, it's not a whole mainstream view at this time, but I would think that could start pricing in. And if that gets priced in, then you would see some more sell-off in the emerging market, because it would price in a strong dollar.
All right, Manish, thanks so much for joining us for that quick check on what we can expect later today. Good chatting with you. We'll keep an eye out on that data when it comes out. Amar, back to a few movers in this afternoon's trade. Auto stocks, what's catching your eye there? Maruti, Tata Motors particularly looking very strong today. Tire stocks have also been on the move.
Yeah, overall, we've seen I would say, a spectacular rally across the tire space, be it Sept, be it Apollo Tires, be it the auto stocks. More on the account of the festival season approaching, and also there are expectations that going forward there's going to be a pickup and revival in demand. So that's one factor that's playing on the markets, and also auto stocks, we've seen a significant correction in the rubber prices, so that's also should help these tire companies. So on the tire companies, we have we can buy Apollo Tires at around 193 levels with a stop loss of 187 with a target of 202.
Let me also welcome in Ashish Maheshwari, who's joining me in the studio as well. Ashish, good afternoon. Let's first get your take on markets and how they're looking. Even today, a nice strong move that we're seeing.
Yes, today market has touched 52-week high, and even in my last week show with your channel, I gave my same opinion that I'm bullish on the market. And again, the reason is the kind of FI flows are coming into the Indian market, and the kind of domestic money which is again coming in the market from retail investors to HNIs. So entire climate is quite positive for equity market. Another thing is, now if you see various asset classes, now you can't make money in gold, neither you can make money into real estate. So where the money will go? So that is why money is coming into equities, and it will continue to come in. And if you see, this time rally is quite distinctive compared to previous rallies, because now only quality stocks are showing performance. So a lot of money is being channelized through portfolio management schemes or AIF or a mutual fund investment. And again, FI participation is also very selective. So in my view, though market will keep on performing well, but individual stocks will even outperform the market.
Okay. We've seen a nice recovery in some of these telecom names this afternoon after yesterday's crack and all the big news around Jio. What did you make of it, and how do you feel the landscape is going to change?
Yes, I think yesterday's correction was quite unwarranted one, because when you see like change of operator, you don't expect actually mass exodus kind of thing which is going to take place. That is why market is getting this idea, though Reliance has come out with, Jio has come out with very good plans, but these operators are also big one, and they will also come out with surely counter plans for this. So in my view, some rebound is there, but overall if you see the kind of numbers that you are going to see from telecom companies because of this war in this particular industry, numbers are not going to remain same. So though there is a technical rebound, but still I advise to stay away from telecom sector. This is just a pullback kind of rally what we have seen today, but will not give you decent returns.
Right. Amar, what about on the charts? Bharti, Idea, even Reliance Communications, how are some of these stocks looking?
Yeah, overall we've seen a real hammering of these stocks, Bharti, Idea and all that yesterday. So as it is, it was more of a knee-jerk reaction. Markets will definitely factor in going forward the plans of these companies, how they would counter the geo impact. But yes, as it is, if the market war or the telecom war really goes to a certain level, which it is appearing to go, then that could have an impact on the margins of telecom companies. So yes, there could be selling pressure overall in these stocks, and currently we would not recommend a buy, at least in the short term, on these stocks.
Okay, HDFC is also looking good today. I think fresh 52-week high for that one as well. Pull up HDFC for you a moment. We were talking about 52-week high. Some of the auto names, Maruti, Tata Motors, sales numbers have been really good. Let's get your view on auto as well.
Yes, auto is again a sector which has really outperformed in last quarter, and again in my view this is a sector which will continue to perform. Again, if you see the numbers of sales for the month of August, it is quite robust, and a lot of growth which is coming in the again four-wheeler segment. If you see, is coming from this Ola and Uber kind of kind of players. At the same time, this rural purchasing, which is again picking up, is taking stocks like Hero Honda, Hero Motocorp also at new high. But still, I am more bullish on four-wheeler side, because this is the segment which is going to show higher growth. That is why if you see two-wheeler numbers, Bajaj Auto numbers were quite flat. So still demand is really yet to pick up in two-wheeler segment, but four-wheeler demand will continue to grow by leaps and bounds for sure in next 1 year. And this is the reason why even all foreign brokerages are upgrading Maruti to even 5,800 to 6,000 mark. So in my view, four-wheeler stocks, and particularly Maruti and even SML, Isuzu has come out with very good monthly sales numbers. So these two stocks actually I like in four-wheeler space.
Okay, some of the other names in the broader markets, Amar, Page Industries, Jain Irrigation, Century Textiles. I'm just running through some that are standing out today. How are they looking on the charts, if you're looking at any of these, or anything else is standing out to you?
Yeah, overall we've been bullish on Jain Irrigation. It's seen a remarkable rally, but overall we'll have to be some on the caution side, because there could be some profit booking coming in the markets. One stock that could be looked at buying is Voltas. So it's currently trading around 391, 392 levels. So any dip towards 390 can be used as a buying opportunity for Voltas, with a stop loss of 384 and a target of 402. So that could be one stock that one can buy from a short-term perspective.
Okay. PSU banks continuing to see a rally as well. We just had the RBI set its yield at about 6.97% on new government bonds 2026. It's the lowest that we've seen, and that's led to a bit of a spike on PSU banks. What's your take on the banking and financial bank?
Yes, because of this falling yields, again their bond portfolio is going to do great in this quarter. And another thing, what is changing fortune of these banks, that whatever the NPAs which they have made provisions, most of the NPAs are already provided for. So now onwards, you are not going to see any surprises in the quarterly numbers of the PSU banking stocks per se. Another thing is government is talking for recapitalizing a lot of banks. So government is putting their lot of energy and resources now to revival of these PSU banks, and you are going to see a reflection of government initiative in the stock prices. So still, though these banking stocks have performed well in last one and a half month, but in my view, a lot more can be expected from PSU banking stocks. So stocks like Bank of Baroda, Canara Bank, Bank of India will be really outperforming in coming time.
Okay, what do you also make, Ashish, of the entire sort of capital goods infra space, particularly after the recent move by the government? I mean, look at what's happened to an HCC and the kind of buzz there, Patel Engineering, ILNFS, some of the other names as well that are rallying on some of these attempts to boost the sector. Would you look at some of these stocks at these valuations?
Yes, actually, these stocks have suffered because of government policies only. Because if you see just go 7-8 years back, these were once upon a time of blue chip companies like HCC, NCC, IVRCL used to be blue chip companies, but because of so many conflicts or incomplete government projects, they have suffered a lot. And this is again a reason, like banking stocks have also suffered because a lot of recoveries are there from this particular sector. So I think the new changes in arbitration policy and new initiatives of government to resolve the disputes, etc., is quite positive for this particular sector, and that is why you are seeing again renewed interest is coming in stocks like NCC and HCC, and in my view some re-rating will happen in this particular stock, but in long run how they perform fundamentally is only going to count, but in short run surely a fillip for them.
Okay, Amar, what about technically some of these mid-cap infra capital goods names, any of them that are looking attractive?
Yeah, overall we've seen a significant rally in HCC, but I doubt how many would really have been able to capture the move, because from almost 24 it went to 38 levels. So it was more than a 50% rally. So yes, it clearly shows that there is interest now coming back in this sector. So any pullback, it's currently trading around 35, 36 levels. So any pullback towards 32, 33 levels can be used as a buying opportunity in HCC because the way the markets have taken out the resistance levels and the markets, and it was on huge volumes, and also that was based on the fundamental factors. So currently it seems that this can be a sector to watch out for. But it has run up really sharp, and in 3 days if you have 60% rally, then where do you actually enter? So that's the key question. So we would suggest that there should be some correction, some profit booking coming, then one could buy around 32, 33 levels with a stop loss of 29 or so, targeting 40 levels in the short term.
Okay, JKTA is up now 9% as we speak. PVR has also had a good day, up 7-8% as we were discussing earlier. So a couple of these stocks. Marksans Pharma is also up about 6%. That's another theme kind of playing out today. Selective mid-cap pharma names that seem to be on the move. I think we've even got a couple of the others from the pharma pack that are also moving. I think, for example, I think Cadilla as well has got an approval from the US FDA, so that's also seen a bit of a spurt. From the pharma space, Ashish, selective names, anything that's that you're finding a good buy at these levels?
Yeah, pharma, in last 1 month, have given some of the pharma stocks has given good returns, and in my view, we can selectively explore this particular sector. One stock I like here is Dr. Reddy's Lab. This is a stock which has fallen from 3,500 odd levels and came down to almost 2,850, and now it's rebounding because again the last particular quarter was not that good for Dr. Pharma, so Dr. Reddy's Laboratory. So we have seen this kind of correction, but now onwards, as management commentary also says, that they are not expecting such surprises in their quarterly numbers. So this is a stock which can give almost 100 to 150 rupees kind of return from here. And again, another story is Biocon, which has given good returns in last one to 2 months. And in my view, the kind of launches are there in the pipeline and kind of approvals ongoingly they are getting from US and European market. This stock can also give very good returns in short to medium run. So Biocon and Dr. Reddy are going to be my pick.
I think Morpen is also moving today. Let's just pull that one up for you. From the pharma space, Amar, what's on your list?
Overall on the pharma space, Cipla looks good because it has actually it had corrected sharply, and from almost 460 levels is currently trading around 575, 580 levels. So it's seen a significant rally. Overall, if we look at the pharma space and the IT space, they were two sectors which weren't really performing, but over a period of time, for last few weeks, we've seen some significant rally in the pharma space. So Cipla can be a buying opportunity. It's currently around 575, 580 levels. So any pullback because
the line there lost the connection to Amar for a moment. We'll come back to that in just a second. A few other movers on the back of volumes. So Chola Investment, GTL, for instance, a couple of these names. that are also moving on the back of volumes today. So a whole host of, and in fact, if we put up the mid-cap index, because we've actually got a fair amount of activity in the broader markets as well today, as you can see on your screen. So overall, you know, as you said, momentum does seem to be strong, Ashish. From a broader markets, are you looking at any specific themes? Are you looking at a bottom picking approach? I mean, how do you bottom pick in a market that's already run up so much?
Yeah, actually, it's still not time for bottom picking.
Yeah.
You need to go from top to bottom now, because individual stocks are going to really outperform broader indices in this market. So we are very selective in mid cap and small cap space, and here we really find good value which is there in certain stocks. Like we have identified Gujarat Heavy Chemicals Limited, GHCL. This is a good story and can give very good returns in short to medium run, and on account of the kind of numbers companies are reporting. So these stocks are getting again re-rated. Again, if you look at Reliance Capital, is a stock where a lot of restructuring exercise is going to unlock value, and no wonder stock has moved up by almost 60 odd rupees in last 10 days, and I am expecting another 60 rupee rise is possible in the next couple of months in even Reliance Capital.
You know, talking about Reliance, let's bring up Reliance Industries again as well. Today it's cooling off slightly, if you just see it on your screen. And there has been a little bit of pressure on the stock. People perhaps, while telecom is expected to be the next big thing, there are also concerns about that pricing and so forth. You know, how much of telecom are you factoring in when you're looking at Reliance from here on?
Till the time yesterday AGM was on, everybody was quite bullish on Reliance Industries, and the stock almost touched 1072 mark also. But later on, as soon as the AGM got over, people or investor got the reality check that by offering so many freebies, actually they are not going to make money at least for a couple of years in telecom, and telecom is their next big bet after oil sector. So only thing is for next couple of years, as no returns are expected, that is the reason investors have become slightly bearish on the stock. And in my view, for some time the hangover will be there, because now you have to rate partly Reliance Industries at par how other telecom players are doing. So if Bharti, Idea, etc. are not performing, you can expect that Reliance Industries will also not perform. So in my view, Reliance will not go anywhere for some time.
Okay. Amar, what's your call on RIL?
Yeah, overall, RL has been one of the, you can say, the underperforming stocks for the last 7-8 years. So it really doesn't look very promising per se. So I wouldn't recommend RIL in the short term. Yeah.
All right. That's the call on RIL coming in from Amar. I'm just taking a look at some of the other volume movers today, and some of those telecom counters definitely on that list, of course. And you know, we've all HCC on the upside, GTL on the downside today on the back of volumes, for example. It's a couple of those stocks. So Amar, let me get some closing strategies from you from the broader markets as well. Anything else that you're looking at?
Overall, as I was saying, Cipla in the pharma space looks good. It's currently around 575, 580 levels. So any pullback towards 565, 560 levels could be a buying opportunity with a stop loss below 550. So because Cipla has seen a major rally, and overall, as the pharma space overall, we've seen some significant upside over the last few weeks, because this was one of the sectors which really wasn't performing. If you look at the banking space, auto space, tire space. So this was one sector which was really lagging apart from the IT sector. So Cipla can be a buying, but not at this level. Any pullback towards, as I said, 560, 65 levels could be a buying opportunity in the pharma space.
All right. So that's Amar's pick in pharma. And we've been tracking, in fact, a bunch of moves across different pharma stocks as well lately. And various different elements, of course, that have been playing in there. We're just about to head into close now. How much are you also tracking global cues, Ashish, as we head into a fresh week? We've got the, data coming out in the US today. Some amount of curiosity as to what the Fed might do. We were just speaking to Manish Singh as well, who said don't underestimate the move on the dollar and how that could play havoc. What do you think?
The best part is there's a lot of curiosity but not nervousness.
True.
And that is why what you are seeing in Indian market today also, that though in first half we were quite lackluster and people were cautious, but gradually buying has resumed. So in my view, like this, just like how for last few months Fed meetings etc. and this non-farm payroll data are typically one day kind of event. So this is again going to be a one day event, and though next week is slightly truncated week, but still I'm glad to see traders are taking a lot of buy positions even after taking into account that risk is there. So it shows that a lot of bullishness is there in the market, and funds are actually not taking any negative view on interest rate hike, which in my view won't happen before December.
All right, let's just count down to close now. We've just got about a minute and a half to go, so let's run you through some of those quotes. It's been a good day. It's been a decent week, actually, if we take a look at it. Despite a slow start, but we've sort of managed to climb up towards above 8,800 now by the end of the week. Adani Ports was clearly the big mover today, 3.5% higher on that counter. Bank of Baroda following suit with a 3% move, and Bharti Airtel also up about 2%. In fact, Telecom making a nice recovery today. Bharti, I think even Idea was on the upside. Maruti, Tata Motors, new 52-week highs, looking strong in trade. Auto sales figures have been good. Yes Bank and Sun Pharma were also on the upside. M&M, GAIL, SBI, some of the other movers there that we were tracking on the index. HDFC, another 52-week high for that one. Lupin was up close to 1% as well. Hero, NTPC, for instance, some of the other names there. And ONGC, ITC, even though they weren't the major movers, but definitely lending support in trade today. On the downside though, and what kind of sat out were once again some of the IT names. Reliance was down 1.5%. We were discussing that as well. Coal India once again missing out that production target and not looking so great. Some of the cement names are cooling off after that recent up move. So ACC, Infi, for example, some of the names are on the downside that we saw today. Z also a bit of a cool off, just about 0.5% down on Z after the sort of move that we've seen earlier in the week on the back of news on that particular counter as well. So that pretty much summed it up. Some of the other banking names were just about quiet, no major action either way, but that pretty much sums up the index for you. Across broader markets, a couple of themes that have in fact been playing out the last couple of days as well. So for instance, tire stocks, with JK perhaps being the big mover there, and even some of the other auto ancillary names. We also saw a whole host of infrastructure and capital goods stocks, particularly in the broader markets, that stood out as well in trade, and that was worth mentioning because it seems to be a theme that's picking up. Select stocks otherwise, so Dr. Lal Path Labs, HCC, Punj Lloyd, both up 9% today. We had Godfrey Phillips looking very good. PVR was up 8%, news-based buying coming in there on that one. Sept, of course, from the tire pack. Shipping Corporation of India, Muxon's Pharma, for example, Wellspun, another one there. Reliance Infra, Reliance Capital, we've been talking about as well. And of course, PSU banks. That theme played out even in broader markets with a whole host of banking names, even in the mid caps that were actually buzzing and looking good in trade. So overall, a pretty good session. Anything you'd like to leave us with, Ashish, or anything to watch out for in the week ahead?
I think tire stocks looks quite promising for the next week. Again, forget about where the rubber prices goes anywhere. I think the major trigger is the kind of robust numbers that you are seeing in automobile sales. So if you are selling more than 15 lakh vehicles, if you see combinedly in OEM market, so you require at least 5 tires for a car and 2 minimum tires for a two-wheeler. So so this particular segment will keep on performing now. Besides this, when automobile sector is doing so good, tire sector can't remain behind. So in my view, tire sector is going to get re-rated. Again, this is a sector where not too many stocks are near their 52-week high. Vis-a-vis in automobile stocks, almost all stocks which are performers are near 52-week high. So this sector will get re-rated. This is the reason why MRF has touched 39,000 now, and there's no stopping. So this is a sector to watch at least for next week in my view.
Amar, any strategies you'd like to leave us with, or levels on the index? But gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. Overall, the mood seems to be quite positive. Thanks so much, Ashish. Let's take a break. When we come back on Rising Stars, we'll feature traditional Indian kitchen with a modern twist. The founders of Curry Brothers joining us.